Have you ever noticed how quickly we blame? When something goes wrong, we look outward. We blame people. We blame situations. Sometimes we even blame ourselves. Blame feels powerful in the moment. It protects the ego. It makes us feel right. But the Buddha taught something deeper. When we blame, we give away the very power that could help us grow. And most of us don't even realize how often we do it. This channel exists to explore moments like this, real human patterns that quietly shape our lives. If you find value in these reflections, pressing like is simply a way of saying, this conversation matters. It costs nothing, but it helps this message reach others who may be struggling silently. And if this topic resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might help someone else reflect. Now let me tell you a story about a village. The storm and the village. In a small village, the rain began to fall. At first, no one worried. Rain was normal. Rain was welcome. But this rain did not stop. The sky stayed dark for days. Thunder rolled again and again. Lightning tore through the clouds. Slowly, fear entered the village. This storm feels different, people whispered. This is not ordinary rain. As fear grew, the villagers gathered inside the temple, believing it was the safest place. While they stood listening to the storm, one man spoke. What if this rain is not random? What if nature is angry because of someone among us? The room fell silent. If lightning strikes this temple, we will all die. But if the guilty person is sent outside, nature will take only them. Fear spreads quickly, and frightened minds call it logic. Someone pointed to a tall tree outside. Let each person go out, touch the tree, and return. If nothing happens, they are innocent. One by one they went. They touched the tree. Nothing happened. Relief returned, until only one man remained inside. He felt fear rise in his chest. Not because he was guilty, but because he was human. What if they are right? What if something happens to me? The others watched him. Fear needs a target, and now it had found one. Why is he hesitating? If he is innocent, why is he afraid? Soon whispers became pressure. They pushed him toward the door. Go, touch the tree. If nothing happens, you can return. The man stepped outside. Rain soaked his clothes. Thunder shook the ground. With trembling hands, he reached for the tree. At that moment, the sky erupted. Lightning flashed. Thunder crashed. But it did not strike the man. It struck the temple. In a single moment, everything ended. The temple collapsed. The village was gone. The man stood alone in the rain, alive. The villagers believed there was one bad person among them, but the truth was different. The moment they agreed to sacrifice one life to save their own, they all became what they feared. There was not one bad person in the village. There was only one person who refused to become cruel. The lightning did not wait for him to leave. It waited for the others to abandon their humanity. This story leaves us with a quiet truth. When fear rises, people look for someone to blame, and in doing so they often destroy themselves. They searched for the bad person in the village. In the end, the village itself was the answer. And maybe that is the lesson for us too. Before we point at someone else, before we say, it's their fault, pause for a moment. Is the world really dirty, or are we looking through a dusty window? We cannot blame someone's shirt for being stained if our own hands are not clean. Sometimes the problem is not outside, it is inside. Awareness begins when we stop blaming and start reflecting. If you stayed with this story until the end, it means you care about growing. If this message spoke to you, consider subscribing. It costs nothing. but it helps this message reach more minds. And tell me in the comments, have you ever caught yourself blaming and later realized it was something within? Let's grow together.